Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be doing a pretty in-depth eyeshadow tutorial of this specific eye, but we'll be replicating it on my right eye. So this is a fall-inspired eyeshadow, but also super heavily shot my stash. So as you can probably tell, like I go through these sprints where I'm like, try new things, buy new things, and then I go into this like mourning period where I'm like, you gotta get your spending under control, bruh. So that's when I start looking at like all of my makeup and I'm like, okay, you need to just like either take things out that you don't like, start using the things that you actually have. And so this eyeshadow look is going to be using products that I already have in my collection. And hopefully if you are interested in doing this look, maybe you have something in your collection that is similar to this color story as well. So the two main products that I'm going to be using today are the Soft Glam Anastasia palette. Super beautiful, very neutral, heavy, very warm toned. And the other product we're going to be using is Makeup Forever Aqua Resist Smoky Shadow, specifically in the shade Jungle, which is how we are going to get this gorgeous olivey tone here. I'll do a quick swatch for you so that you can see kind of what that tone looks like. So you can see beautiful olive shade with a little bit of a gold shift in it. And really that's kind of how we're going to get this look to come together. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so now that you were so close that you can see my thoughts, you're welcome. We're gonna prime our eyes first with Urban Decay's Primer Potion, specifically in the anti-aging formula. And I'm gonna go ahead and just add this onto my eyelid as my nice base. Even though I am using a cream eyeshadow, I do like to use a primer just to make sure that I'm evening everything out, because I am going to use powder eyeshadow to blend everything and make sure that everything looks more or less pretty seamless here. So to carve out the shape of this eye first, we're going to start with the olive tone, so the cream eyeshadow stick from Makeup Forever, and I'm going to try and make sure that I don't cover my eye as I'm doing this. And we are going to just add this color into the inner corner first. And I'm going to just lay down a little bit of this. I'm not going to go too heavy right now just because as I blend things out, the pigmentation is going to dissipate a little bit. Oh, okay, now we're getting even closer. Hello, G Brown, okay. But we just wanna make sure that we're starting this shape of a spotlight eye. So you can see we're doing inner corner, we're doing outer corner, and the outer corner, most importantly, is following the shape of my eye. So it is kind of in that like half moon shape, if you will. And then we're gonna go ahead and take a brush. This is a Farrah brush. This is the 65 EM mini shading brush. And we're just going to lightly blend out the edges here. So just following the shape of my eye again to make sure that everything is blended. I don't have any harsh lines. And as I'm doing this, you'll kind of notice that some of the pigmentation will kind of disappear and dissipate as well. That's okay. That's the whole point of building upon your look and continuing to add more and more layers. So as you can see in the middle here, it's a little bit messy. That's okay because we are going to cover it with a gold shade, so not too worried about some of the cleanliness right now. And I am just gonna add another layer here just because I want to continue to build up that shade. Makeup Forever's cream eyeshadow sticks are my absolute favorite. They don't fade. They last all day long.
Are they forever?
Yes, they are forever. Thank you. And once we're okay with those diffused edges, I'm going to switch over to powder. For powder today, I'm going to be using 3 shades from the Anastasia palette here. We're going to start out with Burnt Orange. Burnt Orange is going to give us a really nice diffused blown out look. So on this eye, you can see Burnt Orange right at the top here. And I just want it so that it's kind of going to create a gradient on my eyelid. So it's not like it's just like stark color and then like skin. So I'm taking a fluffy crease brush. This is from Real Techniques. Looks like this, has this shape. There we go. Picked up some of that color already. So very easy to blend out and diffuse your eyeshadows. And this one I'm gonna place a little bit higher on my crease. So your crease is really essentially where that fold is, right? Like right here. I'm gonna place this a little bit higher just because, again, I wanna go for that gradient effect here. And just a really, really light layer, nothing too much. And doing windshield wiper motions here to blend that out. If you are at the point where you have a lot of folds in your eyelid, which I'm starting to get to that point in my life where it's a thing, a super helpful technique will be as you are blending out your eyeshadow, just raise your eyebrows and it'll kind of create a little bit more of a tautness to your eyelid so that as you're blending, those folds kind of go away. Now we're gonna go into this shade here, Mulberry, and that's what's gonna give us that like really rusticy kind of a color. I'm gonna go a little bit lighter on the application here, so as I dip my brush in, I'm still using that same like fluffy brush, but I'm gonna go super, super light in that pigmentation, and I'm just gonna place this directly into the crease of my eye to give myself a little bit of definition. And I'm using a really, really light touch with this. I don't want it to be too much. If you ever feel like you went a little bit too much, a little bit too heavy-handed, you can always take a clean crease brush and then just go over everything to lightly diffuse everything again. And I'm just gonna do that just because I wanna make sure it matches from left to right. And at this point, just looking at the way that my eyeshadow is laying down, I think I actually want to build up the olive shade a little bit more just because I want a little bit more of a, I don't know, emphasis on that color. Like I feel like because I was heavily blending it out, I might have lost some of that pigmentation, so we're gonna add it back in. It's actually not too bad, but I still want a little bit more. And that's pretty much going to be the theme, I think, is that I'm just going to continue to add more and more olive to this look because that's really the focal point of what makes this eyeshadow look like more fall inspired is because it's olive toned. And again, just kind of blending that out. One of these celebrity makeup artists that I follow on Instagram, her name is Namvo, that's her Instagram handle. She says that blending is like cardio. It's true. Moving on, we are going to now add in the gold shade. So this is Bronze from the Anastasia palette. And we're going to take that on a flat brush. This is from Luxie. This is their 239 Precision Shader Brush. We're going to go ahead and apply that gold shade right into the center of our eyelid. And again, this is why that primer step is so important because I'm not technically layering this color on top of the cream eyeshadow stick. So I want something on the bottom for it to kind of hang on to. And I'm really gonna pack that on. And that's how you get that spotlight effect where the center is a little bit more bright with the inner corner and the outer corner just being a little bit more defined. So you can see that I covered up a little bit too much of the olive shade and than I had originally wanted to. So now we're gonna go back into the cream eyeshadow and add that back in. So this is why I always say with cream eyeshadows, I love this because I can just keep layering it on. And it layers well actually with powder eyeshadows as well. So this is one of the reasons why the Makeup Forever cream eyeshadow stick is just such a huge winner for me, is because dang, the versatility of this product is like pretty incredible. And pack on a little bit more of this. So the next step is obviously doing my liquid liner. I'm going to be taking Physicians Formula's Eye Booster Waterproof Ultrafine Liquid Eyeliner in black. And we'll do a quick wing liner here. Yeah, it's not exactly matching, but it's close, it's close. All right, this is why you shouldn't film after work, is because you're super tired and nothing matches ever, but that's just what happens. All right, so for the lower lash line, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mirror the shape of my eyelid, but just on my lower lash line. So it's gonna be olive tones on the inside and the outside, and then a little tiny bit of that gold in the center. And the way to hold your cream eyeshadow stick, because it is kind of thick, right? So when you're trying to do a little bit more defined work on the bottom, I tend to hold it more at like almost parallel to my face. Not exactly, but that way so I can get really the edge of the cream eyeshadow stick so I'm not just drawing like a really, really bold line onto my eye. Go ahead and take a little bit of that gold shade and add it into the center. And to brighten the inner corner, we're gonna go ahead and take Glistening from the eyeshadow palette, which is this one right here. And we are going to apply this to the inner corner just to get everything kind of bright. I really like this step, honestly, for when I'm doing some of these darker, smokier looks, just because I do feel like it helps just add a little bit of touch of highlight to your eye so not everything seems so dark. And voila, and then I'm gonna add mascara and then we are done. That is pretty much the end of this video. I hope this tutorial was helpful. My goal when I'm editing this is to actually not cut any of the steps out so that you can see all of the different steps that it took to achieve this look, all the different blending that has to happen. I feel like that's the thing about like TikTok and Instagram, right? Is like, it's so short, but you never actually get to see like the process of something happening. And so yeah, my hope is that you were able to get the full like soup to nuts of exactly how to blend out this eyeshadow. So yeah, if you guys like this tutorial, please let me know in the comments. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. All right, I like that. Now we're going to go into the color, I just stuck my fingernail in it.